My name is Juice. This is Hineni WorldWide. And today I felt to talk about many are called, but few are chosen. And that's something as a kid, as growing up in the church, I always felt like afraid even because I wasn't sure how to be chosen. Right? To be called is to say that, like, you believe God, you are saved, you believe God exists, that kind of thing. But to be chosen, I didn't understand what that meant. If you're new to the channel, Hineni WorldWide was created to encourage the lost to become believers and to encourage discouraged believers to believe again, to pick up their cross and follow God, and to acquire zeal that they once had or maybe never had, but to encourage the least to become greater. So many are called, few are chosen. Think about like an entry-level position. You may or may not have some experience, right? But what you have is the right attitude and you have a willingness to learn, right? So there's on-the-job training. That's kind of like what this is, where God is saying many are called, few are chosen. I've heard it said before that, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. And that's the situation that I'm saying. In order to be considered the chosen, because it says many are called, few are chosen. Really, it's about being obedient to God. It's about humbling yourself and submitting to God and allowing him to use you. Because if we look, we see that you have King David and you have King Saul. Both were called by God to do what they were doing. It wasn't, neither one of them made themselves king. But one was wholly obedient and one wasn't. And God says about King David, he says he's a man after my own heart. Though King David had faults, King David was murderous adulterer because he killed Uriah for Bathsheba, and he was sleeping with Bathsheba before Uriah died, right? So we see that, King David, his hands are not clean, but God says he's a man after my own heart. It's like, what? So God likes sinful people. God likes murderous adulterers. No. But God likes a contrite heart. He likes a contrite spirit. And he likes someone that can admit that they're dead wrong and submit themselves to God and say, change me, have mercy on me, see my form, and that we're like worms before you. We are subject, Lord, to your sovereignty. And we fail and we fall short of the glory, and please have mercy on us. That's the kind of person King David was. That's why God says that about him. The Bible also says that he will use the simple things of this world to confound the wise, right? What does that even mean? God will use things that are considered insignificant to society. You don't have a degree. How could you be a subject matter expert on this topic? Things like that. Well, God can make you a subject matter expert on his word, on his spirit. How? By putting it in you, by teaching you of his own wisdom. The Bible says, if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask God. So being chosen is not about accolades. It's not about how long even you've been in the faith, how long you've been in ministry and things like that. Those things don't matter. What matters to God is whether or not you submit yourself to his perfect will, to his sovereign will, and whether or not you allow him to use you in a mighty way. Because the Bible says that there are instruments to be used for glory and instruments of destruction. And God says he suffers long with the instrument of destruction. But at the end of the day, you didn't want to submit to him, so he left you to your own vices. To be chosen of God is to believe that only God can save you out of your circumstances. Only God can change you. God is the only path to walk in this life and then to do so. Not to just say it, but to actually do so. That is many are called and few are chosen, because few people want to walk that way. Few people want to pick up their cross and follow him. Few people desire to die to themselves daily. And not just desire, but choose to even. Maybe you don't desire, but choose to. That's why Jesus says that the field is ripe, but the laborers are few. That's all that I felt to say today. To be chosen of God is purely dependent on us, and whether or not we listen to what he says, and whether or not we love each other the way that we love ourselves, and whether or not we love God and we put him before everything. That is the deciding factor. Anyway, this is Hineni WorldWide. My name is Jew. Stay dangerous.